Huge relief. I'm going to get to the headline right now as Andrew pans over to show you this is the line here at the airport, but look outside. There is no line to get into the airport this morning. They are still ferreting people down to door number 10 to get in. That is to keep the walkway here in the main terminal clear so that they can keep an orderly line going. They want to know who's in line, making sure that everyone is sort of waiting their turn to get where they're going to security checkpoint C. But this is a massive improvement. You know, since Friday morning, we saw lines out the door, double and triple at some point, taking as long as 2 hours yesterday just to get inside of the airport. And then folks waited another 2 to 3 hours just to get to security checkpoint C. So a massive improvement. Folks telling me as they're coming in this morning, they're getting inside the airport with no wait. As they go to wait in this line, it's taking them about a half an hour or so to get to this point. But then things start to move a little bit faster, which is certainly a good thing, because what they're doing is they're pulling people out of this line further up and they're moving them to security checkpoint B to make things move faster. How are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you, Jen?
Good. So were you surprised that there really wasn't much of a line to get in?
I was actually surprised, although we've been listening to you since 6 o'clock this morning.
You've been seeing it improve in real time.
Yeah, and it's going really well, and they're very well organized, which is great.
Fantastic. Did you have any trouble checking a bag?
We didn't check bags, so we were smart. We brought carry-on.
Very smart. Where are you heading to?
We're going to Austin.
Oh, have fun. Good luck on your trip. Thanks for talking with me. Really appreciate it. And that's the difference, too. We're seeing some smiles on people's faces. That's because they didn't have to stand out in the cold in order to get in this line. They were able to just walk right in. And as she mentioned, over at baggage check-in, things are definitely moving more smoothly there. They didn't have to experience that, but we talked with someone earlier who checked their bag, and they said it was really a breeze. A lot of kiosks were open. So that is the situation right now for security checkpoint C. And according to TSA officers I've talked with this morning, you know, they're here because they say they really care. And that's not to say that the TSA officers who aren't here don't care. They're just very frustrated right now. They haven't had a paycheck. But the ones that are here today, they wanted to just make sure that the people that are here at the airport are having as smooth of an experience as they can have, and know that if they don't show up, these lines get even longer. We have seen ICE agents on scene. What I've been told is they're not performing any sort of security operations and certainly no immigration operations. But what they're here to do is take the place of a TSA officer who's doing sort of like an operational type situation, like pulling pets out of the line or helping people with wheelchairs or making sure that the lines are orderly and organized and that no one's trying to jump the line. And what their body on the ground means is that TSA agent who was doing that job can now work those security lines. And what that has done is allowed them to go ahead and open up B in order to move people along. And so what the ambassadors are doing is they're going through deeper into this line for the folks that have been waiting and pulling those folks out, moving them to B in groups of about 100. And they move very quickly. They don't let any grass grow underneath their feet. When they tell them to move, they move, and they want to move. And that is certainly a good thing. So you can see that I am smiling because as bad as this line is, and look, this isn't normal. This is nowhere close to normal. This is not what reality is when you fly through BWI, but this is certainly better than it has been in 3 days. How you doing, sir? How you holding up?
Doing all right, thank you.
Where are you heading to?
Grand Junction, Colorado.
So were you worried seeing the news reports the last few days?
Yes, very worried. We had friends who were trying to fly out yesterday and missed their flight by 1 minute after waiting hours in line.
So this is much better, and we're going to let you move along because we are definitely not going to be responsible for holding up the line. If you are flying out of D and E, not a problem for you there, but as you can see, things are improving here at C. This is the morning rush, so no telling what it's going to look like later in the day, no telling how many TSA agents may show or not show, but I can tell you that airport operations here are learning every single day what they can do to make this better. I talked with one gentleman who says he's worked in airports for the last 30 years. He's never seen anything like this. And so what they have done is try to evaluate what systems work for them, what systems don't. They have certainly tried to corral this in a way that's safe because they can't have the lines jamming up too much. That's terrible for a safety aspect in case somebody has a medical emergency. And so they have now put yellow barriers back in a different direction so that they can keep people from jumping lines. They have definitely dealt with that. that, but they've dealt with that in a very orderly manner. And right now, this is extremely organized as the traffic is just flowing smoothly as it heads towards Security Checkpoint C. That's the latest here at BWI. Janine, I'm going to send it back to you. No line outside of this airport.
I am so glad to see that these lines are finally moving. I remember the question I was going to ask you earlier when you had mentioned in one of your last hits about coffee, and it was that you can't skip that line by going through checkpoint D because they don't connect in the back for the terminals.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part. People were saying, hey, why can't we just go through security checkpoint D and E if there's no line there? And there is no way to connect right there to do that. So yeah, one of the coffee shops is closed down because of some of the anticipated construction that's going to be happening at one point. But there is a Starbucks downstairs. But right now, traffic's moving so fast, you can't get to that Starbucks if you're a passenger, because no way do you want to miss your spot in line, especially if they pull you to head over to B. You got to move, move, move. Nobody has time for that.